You know, I was pretty mad when I watched this episode of Citrus yesterday. The reason for it is because of how Yuzu basically let Matsuri off just a slap on the wrist. Like, it wasn't even that bad. I'm just like... look. I mean, I know Citrus ain't that type of series to where it's gonna have, like, crazy plot. I know it's not gonna have the best characters or developed characters, but at the same time, stuff like that really makes me mad, especially with the context of what Matsuri did. And I'm just a little bit upset with how Matsuri just didn't even get slapped or anything for what she did. I mean, I know Yuzu in a way was kind of mature about it, but it annoys me that what Matsuri did was so downright illegal. What was she pretty much pimped out Mei. That's what she did. Like, if you want to get down into simple terms and stuff, that's exactly what she did to Mei. A middle school girl pimped out Mei, a high school girl, to this older dude. Now, granted, this older dude had no idea, because remember, he was getting sent fake photos and stuff, so even that man had no idea, and so lives were about to be ruined. Mei's life and that older dude's life was about to have their life completely ruined if it would have carried on like it did, and it wasn't stopped. I'm just like... that is just disgusting. Like, I cannot stand Matsuri for that. And just the way Yuzu just looks at her, it's like, oh, okay, and all that, and just like, don't do it again. I'm just like... Are you kidding me right now? Like, there's been so many examples of how awful of a human being that Matsuri is in front of Yuzu. And I'm just like, Yuzu, come on. I know you're kind of dense in a way, but please, what she did is just so heinous. Like, how could you even be a friend with her, or even a sister? I mean, if you are an older sister-like person to the, Matsuri, then definitely that just makes it even better to where you should set them straight. And I was just like, that's so dumb. It's so dumb how Yuzu still wants to remain in contact with her after everything she has done. But, okay, I'm not going to dwell on that because I know people probably don't want me to focus on it. And, I mean, I'm going to admit, that made me angry. And it's not going to stop me from being angry with that moment. But at the same time, the only reason why I can set it aside is because I know this series is not all about the quality writing, it's more about the Yuri experience. And I mean, I'm a man that will admit I'm kind of watching this for the spice, and so I admit, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. Just that annoyed me. So carrying on though, okay, so let's talk about Mei's situation for a second. So Mei was actually going to go along with it. She was going to go along with it and get with that dude that, Matsuri set up. And there is a certain way I look at that scene, okay? Besides the messed up aspect of it, how Mei was about to ruin her entire life and the older dude's life, the way I look at it, it shows how far Mei would go for someone she cares about, or what she cares about. Let's think about the start of the series, okay? The start of Citrus. We know that Mei was, basically going to be with a teacher. She was going to be in a relationship with a teacher, and the whole reason for that was just basically for a political move for the school, to help out the school and all that. That was the sole reason why she was going to be with that teacher at the start of the series. And I feel like what this episode tries to show is that Mei, she's willing to go that far. If it means to keep things safe or whatever she wants to achieve, she will go that far. And it shows what type of person she is. And hopefully some aspects of what I just said is incorrect, but at the same time, though, I do see the correlation with the first episode and this one because of how she was. But moving past that, though, let's talk about the blackmail scene. So, it was obvious that blackmail was going to happen. I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory with the whole picture taken in the last episode that there was going to be a blackmailing scene with this week's episode. And I will say that, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised with how everything turned out. I figured the drama would have been, like, stretched out longer than it was. I figured next week would be the ending conclusion of the drama. Like, I figured this episode was going to introduce the drama, you're going to have, our main character, Yuzu, get upset, and eventually you're going to have it to where, like, they get in a fight or whatever, and then the episode ends. I figured something like that would happen, because I've seen a lot of series, and typically that's kind of what happens when you have something like this, blackmailing and stuff. And I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that that entire point was settled at the end of the episode, and, you know, they get to celebrate their Christmas. Even though it didn't turn out like they wanted, Mei and Yuzu still got to celebrate Christmas. Mei got to eat the Christmas cake that Yuzu made for her, which was incredibly adorable, I gotta say. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it got settled, which I will give props. I'm glad this whole Matsuri thing wasn't stretched out, because I'm going to be honest, I did not like Matsuri at all. She's a... I don't like her. I think I made that very clear. The only redeeming part about this episode in terms of Matsuri-wise is definitely that final line she says when she's like, hey, you know, when you finally get to know each other better, you know, let me know, we can have a threesome. I'm like, okay, look, Matsuri, I mean, I don't like you, okay? Don't get me wrong, but I gotta say, like, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, you're not best girl, you're not a good person, but that's interesting that you would say something like that in a Yuri series of all things. I'm like, okay, spice. But yeah, that scene, that was probably the only redeeming part about Matsuri's character this week. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's about it. I mean, we had the whole thing with Matsuri basically getting slapped on the wrist. She realizes, like, she shouldn't intervene anymore with Yuzu and Mei's relationship. You have it to where the blackmailing scene is over and all that. So that's about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How you felt about this week's episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below. And I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.